Hi guys, I want to talk to you guys about a problem I have, and it's more of a curse than a blessing. It's sleepwalking, and it makes my life a lot more interesting. I want to tell you guys some stories that I have in my personal experience, and you're probably wondering why there's peanut butter, salsa, and paper towels, but I promise they're not together. My first story is about peanut butter. I woke up one night, and I found myself standing in the kitchen, and I was like, oh man, how did I get here? And there's this jar of peanut butter just sitting on the counter. And of course, it's Skippy natural dark chocolate peanut butter, which is delicious, I promise. And I found myself staring at it, and I'm like, oh, I should go back to bed. But I can't find myself to bring myself back to bed. I phase out of it, I wake up 45 minutes later, I'm still staring at this jar of peanut butter. So, I did eventually go back to bed, but moving on, there's a roll of paper towels. I woke up one night, and my dad was sitting in my room. And so I said, oh, Dad, why are you here? And he's like, I really need some tissues. And I said, oh, I don't have any tissues in my house, but I do have paper towels. So I got up, I ran to the kitchen, and I grabbed some paper towels. I ran back, and he was obviously not there. See, the funny part about it is that my dad is dead, so he was never actually there. It was just a hallucination. And for the third story, there's a picture of salsa. Most of my dreams, I find myself working, which is really sucky because I wake up the next morning and it's like, oh man, I have to go to work. So I felt kind of nauseous. Earlier in the day, I had some chips and salsa, and it wasn't really good salsa. And so I found myself at work in my dream, and I felt kind of nauseous, and I said, oh man, I really need to use the restroom. I feel like I'm going to be sick. So I started yelling to my coworkers. I said, I need someone to cover me. I need someone to cover me right now. I finally get someone to cover me, and I'm running to the bathroom. And all of a sudden, I wake up and I'm already in my own bathroom in my own house. So it's really weird how that kind of works because I think I'm asleep and I think I'm awake at the same time. This has been a huge impact on my life. And it's, obviously I have these crazy stories. So what is sleepwalking? If you want to get really technical about it, it's a behavior disorder that originates during deep sleep and results in walking or performing other complex behaviors. But if you want to make it simple, basically you're sleeping and you're doing another action that you wouldn't normally do. It's also known as somnambulism. I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry. It's Latin. And symptoms of sleepwalking, of someone in your house or yourself, they sleep talk, they sit up in bed, they might walk around the house or room, and it can even be as crazy as leaving the house and driving long distances, which isn't that relevant, but it can happen. And there's also inappropriate behaviors, such as urinating in closets. I've never done that personally. There's also having a glazed, glossy-eyed expression. A common misconception is that sleepwalkers sleep with their eyes closed, so you can automatically tell they're asleep, but most people do have their eyes open. There's also doing routine activities, such as getting dressed or talking. I can't tell you guys how many times I've gotten dressed for work or school, and then I wake up the next morning and I'm like, oh man, I'm ready to go. There's also being disoriented or confused while being woken up. My mom, she'll try to wake me up, and she can't get me up, and as soon as she wakes me up, I'm like, why am I in the kitchen? And she's like, you gotta go back to bed. Sometimes you have problems functioning during the day because of disturbed sleep. I often find myself sleeping in my college classes, which is really bad, don't tell anyone. But it's because I don't sleep enough at night because I'll wake up and I'm staring at a jar of peanut butter. So opening your eyes while sleeping, I just discussed that. Causes of sleepwalking, it could be sleep deprivation. I only get an average of 3 to 4 hours of sleep per night because of my job and school. Fatigue, stress, depression, anxiety. I'm a really anxious person, so I can see where that definitely falls in. Sleep schedule disruptions, possibility of underlying illness, and it could be hereditary. I have done research within my family, and no one else sleepwalks. It's just me. So I don't know where that's coming from. It's obviously not hereditary. And some pretty fun facts. Sleepwalking is less common in adults and has a higher chance of being confused with or coexisting with other sleep disorders, as well as medical and mental health conditions. And according to the National Sleep Foundation's 2004 Sleep in American poll, 1% of preschool children and 2% of school-age children walk in their sleep at least a few nights per week. You're supposed to grow out of it through adolescence, And some people do and some people don't. So is there a cure? There is no specific treatment. You can't just give any person who sleepwalks a random pill and say, hey, this will fix you. There is different methods you can do, though, that can help someone. You can relax before bedtime, which means no computer, no internet. That stresses your brain. No caffeine late at night. Cut back the amount of liquids before bed. Having a full bladder can cause you to sleepwalk. Avoid alcohol. And then sleep in a comfortable environment with less noise and cooler temperatures. I often find myself sleepwalking during the summertime because I'm hot and exhausted. And then you can also try to take medication, and any kind that may be suitable for you. I don't take any medication for it. I learned from this entire research project that I should be concerned. If I sleepwalk into my teenage/adult years, the sleepwalker gets repeatedly injured during events. Stress, anxiety, or other psychological factors appear to contribute to these disturbances. And some statistics are the prevalence of sleepwalking in the general population is estimated between 1% and 15%. Then, according to recent statistics, the prevalence of sleepwalking is 4 to 10% in adults, which is higher than what has been previously established. I looked back to a few years ago, and it was between 3 and 8%, which isn't that much of a difference. And then this is the end, and here's an adorable kitten sleeping. Thank you so much.